January, Princess Eugenie announced she and her husband Jack Brooksbank were expecting their second child. A photograph, posted on her personal Instagram account, showed the princess with her son August kissing her baby bump. The accompanying caption read, "We're so excited to share that there will be a new addition to our family this summer." Buckingham Palace later confirmed the pregnancy, saying, "The family are delighted and August is very much looking forward to being a big brother." Eugenie, who is the second daughter of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, announced her first pregnancy, in 2020, via the palace. She later used her personal Instagram account to confirm the news. Speaking exclusively to Express.co.uk, a royal historian pointed the move out as a break in normal procedure, noting the effects of Eugenie's father on her standing within the royal family. Tune into our Royal Family Snapchat show, every Monday exclusively on Snapchat. Marlene Kinnig, who has spent over 40 years researching European royalty, suggested that Eugenie's personal pregnancy announcement was, in part, a result of Andrew's ever-weakening position within the firm. Pointing out the differences between the first and second pregnancy announcements, Ms. Kinnig claimed the palace confirmed it rather than announced it because Andrew no longer has an office. The palace announced she was expecting her first child in 2020, she told Express.co.uk. The first news of the second pregnancy was on her Instagram account. In September 2020, the palace released a statement, announcing, "Her Royal Highness Princess Eugenie and Mr. Jack Brooksbank are very pleased to announce that they are expecting a baby in early 2021. The Duke of York and Sarah, Duchess of York, Mr. and Mrs. George Brooksbank, the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh are delighted with the news." Princess Eugenie disapproved of Beatrice's announcement clash with Meghan and Harry. Princess Beatrice reportedly clashed with her younger sister Princess Eugenie over an apparent snub of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Beatrice and the Sussexes both made announcements on the same day, which was said to have caused Bea to clash with Eugenie. Eugenie subsequently shared the news on her Instagram with a sweet posting featuring her and Jack holding a pair of fuzzy slippers, writing, "Jack and I are so excited for early 2021, followed by an emoji of a baby." This, Ms. Kinnig described, as normal procedure for working family members. In a normal situation, members of the royal family use the official channels to make announcements, and I should point out that this applies to what has become the term working royals, Ms. Kinnig said. Andrew stepped back from public life in November 2019 following his disastrous Newsnight interview, during which he recounted his association with Jeffrey Epstein for the first time and denied having sex with Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who accused the Duke of sexual assault and, in 2021, launched a civil case against him in the U.S. In January 2022, he was stripped of his royal and military patronages and could no longer use his HRH title. With the Queen's approval and agreement, the Duke of York's military affiliations and royal patronages have been returned to the Queen, Buckingham Palace said in a statement at the time. The Duke of York will continue not to undertake any public duties and is defending this case as a private citizen. Then, in January 2023, it was reported that he could no longer use his suite of rooms at Buckingham Palace, known as the Chamber Floor, which included apartments and offices. The Duke's suite will be gutted and renovated as part of a 10-year rebuilding project. According to The Sun, the disgraced Duke was told there was no place for him at the London residence and that he will have to move elsewhere if he wishes to remain in the capital. A source reportedly told the publication, "The King has made it clear that Buckingham Palace is no place for Prince Andrew. First, his office closed last year and now his sleeping quarters. Andrew loved having a suite at Buckingham Palace where he was not only set up for marital life with Sarah Ferguson but used it as a bachelor's pad after his divorce." Andrew was reportedly told he could no longer hold an office inside the palace or use it as an address for correspondence in December. While Andrew has not carried out official public duties since November 2019, it was understood that his mother, the late Queen Elizabeth II, still had a soft spot for her second son. In February 2022, Andrew reached an out-of-court settlement with Ms. Giuffre, with the Duke donating to his accuser's charity for abuse victims. Andrew has vehemently denied any wrongdoing and the settlement was not an admission of guilt. His first public outing after the settlement came a month later when he escorted his mother into Westminster Abbey for a memorial service for Prince Philip, who died a year earlier. In contrast, King Charles III is said to have made it clear that his brother has no way back to royal life, despite Andrew's hopes for a restored reputation. Speaking on this week's episode of the Royal Roundup, Daily Express royal correspondent Richard Palmer said, "I imagine there are tensions between siblings. They previously denied reports of tensions, but it's a tricky issue. At the root of it all is what Andrew is going to do for the rest of his life, and what should be done with it. Personally, I think there is no room for him in public life, and if he gets into something controversial finance-wise it will reflect badly on the royal family." Last month, it was reported that the Duke was eyeing a return to frontline public duties and was reportedly exploring his legal options in a possible bid to see his settlement overturned. And more recently, it has been claimed Andrew is considering writing a tell-all memoir, following in the footsteps of his nephew Prince Harry, whose autobiography became the best-selling non-fiction in publishing history. A friend of the Duke of York told Daily Beast, "He has done everything he has been asked to do. He settled the lawsuit, he kept a low profile, he hasn't complained. His mother always valued his loyalty. She would be aghast at his allowance being reduced. He may have to write a memoir." When asked whether writing a memoir was a serious prospect, the friend said, "It's being talked about regularly. Sarah has had real success with her books and has great publishing contacts. Harry's book has proved that there is no shortage of appetite for stories about the royal family. Why shouldn't Andrew tell his side of the story now his mother is gone? Regardless, a royal commentator has argued Andrew has no royal future, explaining even his age will count against him." Richard Fitzwilliams told Express.co.uk, "At 62, he has no royal future and his popularity is down to single digits. Ghislaine Maxwell won't help him by supportive statements from prison." The much-publicized recent stunt featuring two figures in a bath, which was supposedly designed to help his reputation, was simply farcical. Here, the commentator referred to a photograph of two people in a bath at Maxwell's London home. The pair were wearing masks of Andrew and Ms. Giuffre in a bid to prove they could not allegedly have had sex in the tub because of its size. But Mr. Fitzwilliams said, if he were to begin legal action against Virginia Roberts Giuffre, as has been rumored, there would obviously be considerable publicity involved. Since he has not been found guilty of anything, he sees no reason to do penance. However, there is no sign of any humility, of helping the FBI, which he promised to do, or of doing some charitable work as the Queen reportedly suggested he do. He added, "The Newsnight interview is still fresh in the national memory, and the photograph of him with Geoffrey has not been proved a fake." In his handling of the allegations against him, he continues to be his own worst enemy.